to actively compete with any.
Over here.
This is the easiest way to get in.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
And then I wish you could steal this from one of your kids.
Thank you so
How's
much.
it going?
Thanks, guys. My pleasure. Thank you.
I got a confession.
Wow.
I was the guy that threw the wiener. I'm playing.
I know, man. 29 years of doing this, I've never seen and it's not like it was a hot dog, it was a wiener. An Oscar Mayer wiener. So you can't not acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Right? So I could have taken it all the way and had people chanting wiener for the rest of the night, but I knew we were going to a very serious thing afterwards.
Right,
so
right.
See the wiener, see it, squish it, fuck off wiener.
Right. Yeah, I was in the building for it, and I saw it fly. I was like, really?
All the shit I've had in the ring.
So like you reached the point where you've always been like so charismatic that you can just say this is a catchphrase now, and
Yeah.
people will just. Now you're at the point where you just say stuff like off the cuff, and then the next day you're on Twitter, and you're like, so that's a thing now.
Yeah.
What's that like? Just be like waking up and like, oh, that's a meme.
Well,
All right.
you got to follow what the fans pick up on. The little bit of the bubbly was a throwaway line from Dumb and Dumber. A little bit of the bubbly. And lo and behold, someone makes a video of it. I remember the first one is from Mambo number 5. A little bit of bubbly. A little bit of bubbly. So I posted it. This is pretty funny. And then someone made another one. I'm like, okay, I get it. I posted this one. Then they started coming in droves. And dude, I swear there's at least 100, if not more. And what I liked about that was people were being creative. Instead of just looking at their phones or fucking around with video games, they're actually creating something using their imagination. I thought that was my favorite part about that. What a great influence to have. And that's the same with the wiener. I was like, we should make a Who Threw a Wiener in the Ring shirt. But then I'm like, I don't want people to start throwing wieners in the ring after chanting wiener, because they'll do it, right? So you got to be careful, but it's really easy to do if you have confidence. And also, too, being smart enough to realize, okay, we caught some lightning on a bottle in this. Let's go with it.
I'm curious, as a musician, since I've heard you didn't like your original WCW theme, and now you have, of course, your own band's theme. So let's say AEW signed Jim Johnson. You want to collaborate with him, or is, now that you have complete creative control for the theme?
Well, I think that Judas is a song. I started using it in the Tokyo Dome because we're trying to go over to Japan, and for some reason we just can't break into that market. I said, well, fuck it. If I got 50,000 people in Tokyo Dome, I'll play Judas so they have to hear it. I'll just walk really slow to the ring. At least we get one spin. And then I was like, this has a real great vibe to it. It's very heavy. It's very dark and deep. It's the perfect ring music for me. So I don't think there's any need to switch it up for that. Jim Johnson, I will say, though, was a genius for really figuring out the vibe and the attitude of the character to give them music that really fit. They don't have that now. The music now is very generic. Just play heavy music here. Here comes a Japanese guy, play Japanese string and stuff. Jim would really talk to you. What kind of a person are you? And really bring out something in the song that fit perfectly. So if Jim is out there looking for a job, hopefully he gets hired, because dude, he's one of the best.
I really gotta ask, like, you're so involved with everything. Obviously, the AEW movement, TNT, the band. What do you really do in your downtime? What is your own self-time?
I just hang out with my family. I got 3 kids, and they have their own lives. Actually, I just got texted from my son saying, I watched your match, it was awesome. That might be the first time he's ever acknowledged anything that I've done, ever. But they have their own lives, and it's very important to them. So when I go home, I leave, as much as I can. I still got to work, but leave the Jericho at the door and just try and be dad and husband and father. And I think that's the balance. I take my kids to school every morning. If I get home at 5 a.m. on a red eye, I'll stay awake until I can take them to school, sort of thing. Because, this year's been great because I haven't been gone a lot, because Fozzy wasn't touring, AEW wasn't working, so it was a great, 10 months of just being at home. So now that I'm back at work, you got to really spend that time at home as much as you can to be involved with the kids.
What's your role in the new Jane Silent Bob movie?
I think I can probably say it now.
I think they screamed it.
What's that?
I think they finally screamed it.
Yeah, I play the head of the KKK. True. So I asked Kevin, like, why am I not in the trailer? He goes, dude, you're playing at Klansman. You can't put you in the trailer. But of course, I end up getting thwarted by James Silent Bob in the end. So it's a great scene. Kevin wrote another scene for me in another movie that's come out. Kilroy was here, where just another dastardly son of a bitch. And it's like, geez, man, what do you really think of me? But great time, great movie, and just a chance to be out there with Kevin Smith and in a movie with Chris Hemsworth and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. It doesn't hurt my acting cred, that's for sure.
I have to say though, I loved you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, another classic there. It was mostly improv.
Do you ever bring back the line tamer full time? Because that was always my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, people ask that all the time, but you use it when it's relevant, because you can't use that hold and have people escape from it. Really. That's why I had to stop using it. You can't give it to the Big Show. It doesn't work that way. It's too big.
Thank you.
So I bust it out when it works and when it's appropriate. So yeah, you'll probably see it sometime. Anybody's listening?
Yeah. First of all, congrats on being so guys. Renaissance, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
And as someone who's seen the industry evolve over the years, I mean, it's come so far from even 10 years ago. Where would you like to see the industry go next? What would you like to change?
Well, I think we changed it just by being in existence, by AEW just starting. And I think when I signed with AEW, it changed the industry for the better, because everyone got a big raise, extended contracts and double guarantees to not be able to leave WWE. I think it's specifically because I signed here. I think they realized, wow, this is a real thing. We can lose guys if we don't take care of them. So to continue that, I mean, you saw the rating that we did on Wednesday, and more importantly, the demo, which was #2 for the whole night, over everything except for Major League Baseball, those sons of bitches. But that to me shows there's a value in AEW from that demographic, which is what advertisers care about. They would rather that you have the top demo than have the ratings in a lot of ways. So I think if we can continue to build upon that, that's going to continue to change the industry, because the stronger AEW gets, the more the market share and the more the eyeballs we get, the more fun it's going to be. Because, like I said, we're not at war with anybody. We just want to be a viable, exciting alternative if you're bored of the other company, or if you want to check out something different. If you don't, that's fine too. But we exist, and it's like, I love Metallica and I love Megadeth too. I love the Stones, I love the Beatles as well. If there was just one, it wouldn't be as fun.
So you're like the master of evolving your character throughout your entire career. Can you tell us what inspired your newer look, and what does it take to just keep switching gears, switching characters like that? I've
always been a real big fan of David Bowie. The concept of what Bowie was, he always evolved his look and his sound, never complacent. That's at one point even stopped playing all of his hits to form a band, Tin Machine. I was like, who would do that? Like, that's just him as an artist. So it really started in 2008 or 7 when I came back to WWE after being gone for a couple of years. And I was doing kind of an outdated Y2J. It wasn't fitting anymore. And I was like, Y2J's done. So I got to think of something different. And since then, I have no problems taking the chance and changing. Painmaker that I was doing in Japan, I went there as the list guy, and it just wasn't fitting because I was much more brutal and the matches were much more hard-hitting and my mindset was crazy. So I was like, this isn't crazy. What's crazy? Jack the Ripper, he wears a hat. Clockwork Orange, maybe there's a paint thing there, and Alice Cooper-y type thing, and that's kind of where that all came from. It just felt the style that I'm doing is much more of a serial killer than a funny list guy. So let's go into what would a serial killer look like if I was crazy, wanted to murder somebody. Maybe this, and that's kind of where it all came involved. And you meet some great people that are very good at what they do as far as creating costuming, jackets, and that sort of stuff. That helps. All of that stuff matters, because when you put your suit of armor on and you walk out, there's a presence. And even with this new incarnation, there's a hat and there's the jacket, but there's still a scarf, but it's not the focus. It's just, it fits, and it's a little throwback, but it's more important that it makes the image better.
So everything you do is golden. Everything you do, everyone watches. I I really want to know that after the bubbly stint, has anybody reached out to you as far as any type of endorsements?
Well, Bubbly Water has not, which is crazy, but I've been talking to a couple different champagne companies. And I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
If we can continue the momentum of it, people would buy it. I mean, I bought Iron Maiden Trooper beer just because the bottle is cool. I didn't drink it, but I just put it up on my man. That was pretty cool. I think that's the secret. You can get a cool looking bottle and people, hey, I got you a little bit of the bubbly. Because we were talking to one like, well, what kind of a blend do you want? What kind of a fragrance and Eau Chambon? I'm like, fuck, who cares? Pour some cheap wine in there. No one's gonna give a shit. They just want to go, hey, got a little bit of the bubbly. That's what you're buying is the novelty of it. So we're working on that right now.
We're going to be another Jericho cruise?
Yeah, January 20th. That one's sold out already, so we're going to talk on Monday about Jericho Cruise number 3. So it's exciting.
I guess just following up on that, now with AEW being involved, do you see that becoming something where you can make it an event?
Yeah, I mean, remember how WWE used to have Road Wild or Bash the Beach, where you're taking wrestling outside of the arena. And if you saw the pay-per-view we did last year on the cruise ship, it looked so cool. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the ocean, with just the stars shining down, the lights. I'd like that to be an annual thing. And as I'm with AEW, there's no reason to take it to any other wrestling company. So if we can make it the annual, Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea edition of Dynamite, that's great. Just adds another element to our very cool show.
How does it feel to come full circle in a way in TNT? I mean, you were one of the first major names that left, and now you're a speaker.
Yeah, I mean, people people point that out to me more than I realize. I was some of the other days, like, Chris Jericho's home, you're home. I'm like, where? Are we in Washington? I'm like, no. You're on TNT. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even really realize it at first that WWE used to be on TNT. So, yeah, it's great to be full circle and have Tony Schiavone announcing, but I don't look at it like, oh, that's the good old days are back. It's like, this is where we're at. Tony Schiavone's badass. He should be announcing. TNT's been a great partner for us. So to me, it's about it's the perfect mix for AEW. That's more important than the nostalgia factor.
I just want to follow. I asked Mox something about this before. Now that you've left WWE and you've been away for some time, how are you feeling about the creative freedom that you've had since leaving?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I started working in Japan and why I ended up in AEW is I love just doing what I feel is right. Following the character path that I instinctually know is the right way to go and don't have to really get anything approved. Not that I'm doing anything vulgar or illicit or hurting anybody, but I don't think anybody can play the character of Chris Jericho better than I can. So why do I need somebody to write a script of what I'm supposed to say? Not that they ever did, but just the concept of having to get stuff approved. And if I know it's going to work, then let me be the artist and let me be the pro and do my job. The same way that when Clint Eastwood hires actors, they do 2 or 3 takes and move on. How do you work so fast? They're pros. That's why I hired them. I trust their instincts. What am I going to say? That's the way we're running our shows, and I think the guys who get it will really blossom because of it, and the guys that don't will help them. Some guys do need help. Some guys don't. And the guys that don't, let them run as far as they can.
Just one last thing with that. Is there any particular reason you've moved more towards doing no DQ style matches with this newer character?
I haven't. I mean, I only did 2 no DQ matches.
Wasn't the 2 in Japan?
One with Kenny, one with Naito. Okay. And I had 4 other matches that weren't no DQs.
Right. But then you're doing with Kenny now.
No. I mean, the one we had with Kenny, I think, was just one table bump or something like that. There's no reason for it. I mean, just more. If there is, it's more of a violent style because that's what I feel. But I think the last 2 matches I had I can still have real matches too.
You never plan a promo then? Like I know, like back in the day when you said Gene Mean and all that, like it's all spontaneous.
Yeah, that day's were all spontaneous. Yeah. Good. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it. Have a great time.
Thank you.
Big gold bell.